One of my subscribers asked me to do a video on this situation, which I didn't even know about until a lot of my colleagues kept telling me about this. And as you can see, the title, "The Code of the Streets," is different today. Everybody know if you was in the streets and you was doing your gangster, living your gangster lifestyle, there was a code that you lived by. If you had problems with somebody or if somebody owed you money, you went after that person. But the wife and the kids and aunts and uncles and innocent people was out. You didn't bother them. The code of the street, good morning, what's up, Terrence? The code of the street is different. Now, I just got this article that one of my subscribers, I forgot his name, for thanks for asking me to do this. And then my co-workers put me on this. Now, this Texas rapper and his daughter was fatally gunned down. Now listen, he's 30, but the daughter is 5 years old. You back in the days had a code. You didn't mess with. They tell you no wife, no kids, aunts, uncles, grandmothers, innocent person. People was out of this. You went for the people that had you had problems with. Now I'm gonna read something. Texas rapper G Little Ronnie and 5-year-old daughter killed in shooting at a car wash. A Texas rapper and his 5-year-old daughter were gunned down broad daylight by two people accused of opening fire as at it says as the vehicle sat in the car wash in Fort Worth, near Fort Worth, Texas. Forest Hill police officers was called to Sloppy's car wash just before 11 a.m. Monday. Department said in a news release both victims was pronounced dead at the scene. Listen, they saying that the little girl perished first. A 5-year-old kid. See, this is why me as a black American, I love my black people, but I can't stand ninjas. I'm going to say this one more again. I love black people, but I can't stand ninjas. Only ninjas would do something like this. A real man that has beef with somebody. If you have beef with somebody, you're going to square off in the hand. You're not going to do what you did. I'm going to read the article again. A Texas rapper and his 5-year-old daughter, five-year-old daughter, a kid, a baby. This man's life had nothing to do with your beef. 5-year-old's daughter were gunned down in broad daylight by two people accused of opening fire on the vehicle Saturday. They sat at the car wash. Excuse me. They sat at a car wash near Fort Worth, Texas. Forest Hill police officers were called to Sloppy's car wash just before 11 in the morning a.m. Monday for reporting of a shooting. The police department said in the news release both victims was pronounced dead in the robbery. That means they was pronounced dead on the scene. They didn't even get to go to the hospital. People need to return to God and get it together. You're right about that. Let me tell you something. I'm glad you said something about the Almighty. Ever since our country, not all people, I would say about maybe 50 to 60% of people who became godless in America, a lot of things has been going on. Everything. When you become a godless society, the devil steps in and he cuts wrath on everybody, man. This was a 5-year-old kid, a 30-year-old rapper, okay? I don't know what the beef started with, but he's still a rapper. Everybody say black men don't take care of their kids, black men abandon their kids. Well, I know he's a rapper. I don't know what he raps about because I don't listen to that type of hip hop. But what I'm saying is he was a black man that cared about his kid because obviously if the kid is in the car with his father, okay, he's taking care of his responsibility. Straight up. I blame it on rap. Yeah, it is. Remember, we had conscious rap back in the days. I was born, raised in New York. I was born in the Bronx, New York, 181st Street. But I was raised in Yonkers, New York, from 7 on up, and we had a code. We had real hip hop. We had Public Enemies, Brand Nubians. We had Eric B. and Rakim. We had KRS One. We had Poor Righteous Teachers. We had X Clan. We had the Mother of Rage. We had rappers that spoke consciously. Then we had the old school rappers that spoke about having fun. Stuff was having fun. We did. But now we got rappers that talks about selling drugs, becoming gangsters, and taking everybody out. I mean, 5 years old, she didn't even get to experience life or anything. Nothing. And I know I'm going to have some trolls because somebody just cut it off that's going to badmouth me. And this is the difference between black people and ninjas. Ninjas do stuff like this. You shoot the 5-year-old baby first. Record labels change all of that. They did. They did because I had friends that told me that they went to get record deals, and a lot of the record companies tell you to rap about stuff like this. You don't have to be a killer, but they're gonna tell you to rap about stuff like this. They're gonna tell you to rap about stuff like they changed the whole game. They not. I remember a story that it came from one of my friends. Okay, he is from Seattle, Washington, from the West Coast. He's actually back in Seattle, Washington, but he told me a story. He came to New York City because he's an artist. He sings and he plays the guitar. And he told me that he had a friend, a female friend, that had a cousin. Now, this young kid was only 17 years old, but he was a conscious rapper. So I forgot what record, big time record company wanted Universal. Universal Records wanted to sign him, but Universal Records told him and his lawyer, "We will sign you, but you got to change the lyrics. You can't be talking about this, black pride stuff and conscious stuff. We want you to talk about killing, gangstering, and all that stuff." He said, "But I don't do that. That's not me. I don't live that life. But if you want to get signed with us, we need you to talk about that." He said, "I'm going to tell you again. I don't live that life. I'm not a gangster. I talk about conscious." They said, "Well, we can't sign you." He did a show in New York City. This is a 17-year-old kid. He did a show in New York City, and there was a billionaire, not a millionaire, a billionaire from Japan. Now, everybody knows Japan respects real hip hop, and especially if you wanted pro blacks or blacks, whatever you want to call it, they love that type of stuff. It is pride. He did a show. The guy was in the audience and watched the whole show. He goes over to my friend's little cousin and said, "I like you. I want to sign you. You're very smart. I sign you. I take you back to Japan." Took him back to Japan. Within 6 months to a year, this 17-year-old kid was already worth $4 million. $4 million. Hello, Big Call from Florida. Stay well and be safe. You too. I don't know anything about glamorous rap, Bloods and Crips until I moved into the West Coast during the 90s. Yeah, I already knew about the Bloods and Crips, but I knew it wasn't in New York. The Bloods and Crips, for some reason, somebody from the East Coast had connections from somebody from the West Coast, and he became, I think, a Blood inside jail, and then he bought out. But that's a West Coast thing because they know what's the history behind it. But that young kid that was 17 years old became a millionaire, a multi-millionaire. He $4 million within 6 months to a year. He made all that money in Japan because they respected him as a young kid talking about black pride and not violence. So this situation here, where this guy, little Ronnie, and his 5-year-old daughter being murdered, the code is gone. There is no more code. The code is finished, man. Before, back in the days when I was growing up, I'm telling you, if you had beef with somebody, they said, listen, man, if you're going to go to that person's house, leave the family out of it and deal with that person. If that person's not there, you leave. You do not touch wife, kids, mothers, aunts, uncles, grandmothers, grandfather, no, cousins, no. You wait until you see that man on sight, but you do not touch the family, man. You don't touch the family. And this is the problem with the street life. The street life code has been broken. These people don't know the difference between being a gangster and a gentleman. Yes, a gangster and a gentleman. Or to get rich or famous quick. Yes, of course. I think traveling the world and exposing your body is the way to go. Yeah, I might start doing that. I might start getting up and doing it, yeah. But that's what that young kid did. That's what he did. He was 17. 17 years of age. And he told the record company Universal, I'm not doing that. I am not gangster. I'm not from the streets. I know people from there, but I am into concert rap. So when he did that concert and impressed that billionaire from Japan, and that dude took him to Japan, he became a rich man and never came back to America after. He probably is now, but at that time he stayed in Japan. But this is what's going on. A 5-year-old and a father that's 30 years old that was rapper was taken out and by two people. Like, people, it's so bad. We got to start learning how to fight again because it seems like even in the hood, cats is so soft. Everybody's pulling something but using their hand. When I grew up back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, especially the 70s and 80s, at that time, you was considered a threat to somebody because your hand skills, you knew how to fight. Back in the days, you had a lot of people that was going to boxing gyms and taking martial arts. Back then, we had the police athletic league, and you had Gleason's gym, and all of these gyms that had boxing. Then you had the martial art gyms. You had all of these martial artists, and you, as a person that knew how to fight, that's how people were scared. They always said, if you're going to fight that guy, watch his hands and feet, or watch his hands. He's real good. The thing with traveling is that peeps are building hood mentality. Hold on.
And the gambling.
I had to buy some juice from one of my workers. Peeps and bringing hood mentality with them. That's okay. Yeah. Now I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. I am glad you said it because that's another problem. A lot of these, what they call Pookies and Ray Rays, who caught on to traveling, are starting to bring that to Colombia, are starting to bring that to Dominican Republic, and and the Philippines, and it's making it look bad for people like us that really want to travel. So you're right about that. A lot of the Pookies and Ray Rays are starting to catch on to the traveling stuff, and they starting to bring in that foolishness and that nonsense overseas, the stupidness overseas, the ninjas bullcrap overseas, the incontrollable bad habits overseas, and it ain't just the damn Men, it's the women too. The women are going over there with the black women are going over there. I hate to say it like that, with this sassy attitude, and they carrying that stuff over there, and they're being checked. Like, listen, this is not America. You can't do that. What y'all do in America, y'all do in America. You can't bring that nonsense out here. You can't do that. No way can you bring that bull crap out here. We don't allow that. So if you have that mentality, you might take your passport, your ticket, and go back to America, and you do it over there. You do it over there. You do it over there. I miss the 90s, especially New York City. Yes. Yes, the kid. You're right about that. Yeah. It's fun. Yeah, it is funny, little. Yeah, it's funny. But yes, they bring that stuff over there, and the 90s was the best. But this is, it's really ridiculous that the code in America has been broken. The code in the street of being a street dude is broken. Now they come and they taking out anybody. We're going to take out anybody. We don't care who it is. Before, no wife, no kids, brothers, sisters, innocent people, leave them out of it. Just go and do what you got to do to that person. But they don't do that no more. Now they taking everything else. What's up, Big Hawk? The great brother. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end it right here. But you got to pray for this. You got to pray for them people that got killed like that. If you want to donate to my channel, I always put $ Big Hawk 700. Or if you have PayPal, paypal.me/Colin, COLIN, Bostic, BOSTICK. Yes, I do still I spoke to Philly the other day on WhatsApp. He's doing his thing inside Mexico. He's getting it done out there. I'm taking on a new mission. I'm doing stuff like this now. I'm switching over from the migrants. I did a migrant video this morning, but I'm doing stuff like this now. Because we have to have somebody as a voice to start putting these people in check that's doing dumb stuff. You can't be doing it. We always want, as a black American community, we want people to respect us, but we're not respecting our own, and we're not respecting ourselves. I'm going to say this again. As the black American community, we want people to respect us, but we're not respecting our own, and we're not respecting each other and ourselves. Big Hawk, Yonkers native, want to support my channel, $ Big Hawk 700. That's $ Big Hawk 700. PayPal.me/Colin Bostic, COLIN BOSTICK. Thanks for listening. I'm out.